Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. Step inside if you wish to test yourself. So, it's the Cave of Trials. What this is it's a whole dungeon. There's tons of secret paths, so expect me to spend a lot of time checking all this stuff. Look at this. What this dungeon is all about is it's basically for those 5 characters we just got back, to give them an opportunity to get some new equipment, because obviously if we just use the equipment that they currently had on and tried to take them to the final dungeon, it just would not go well. Look at that. 276 damage. That would not go well. So, the new feature that the Game Boy Advance version brought, which this game brought, this is the Game Boy Advance version, is it brought not only this character switching, but it also brought this dungeon and includes, look at that, red jacket, there we go. And it includes upgraded armor and weapons for all of these 5 other characters. So basically it's going to put them on par with the equipment that we get in here is basically on par with the equipment that we'll get for our main team with Cecil, Rydia, Rosa, Edge, and Kane. It'll be on par with that stuff. And that we get in the final dungeon. By the way, spoilers, we can get new equipment for those guys in the final dungeon too. So yeah, this is kind of like their final dungeon equipment grab. And there's other equipment that has nothing to do with them in here. The enemies are not super difficult compared to what we've been seeing before. So we've seen all of these guys before. And we're not going to sit through this battle. But yeah, everything that you're seeing right now did not exist in the DS version of this game. And that was the first thing that made me really mad about the DS version. Because basically, it came out after the Game Boy Advance version, obviously. And look at the speed of Edward. I love his speed. And so it gave us all this stuff, but then the next version that came out, the DS version, took all this stuff away. There was no character switching. This whole dungeon did not exist. And, well, I'll give you some slight spoilers. There's going to be some bosses in here that we're going to fight as well. So those were all taken out. The post-game dungeon that first appeared in this game, that gave you plenty of things to do in the post-game, that was also completely removed. And so I was not happy about that stuff at all. But you must be thinking, well, we should have gotten something in return for that stuff, right? Surely they didn't just take all that extra stuff out and just give us the crappy cryptic augment system. And you'd be right, we did get more than that. What we got in exchange for this dungeon and the bonus dungeon, so 2 bonus dungeons and 5 characters, we gave all that up. Unique characters, by the way, there's still good reasons to use different characters over another. Sid and Edward are not just like generic fighters in comparison with Edge and Kane and Yang. They all have different unique traits. We're going to go over those, and I'm going to show you the party that I like to take to the final dungeon. I was debating taking the original class because, you know, that was the original class. It's actually harder to do it that way. You'll see what I mean in a bit. Ooh, this thing. I didn't get to fight you before. You're confused. That's good. Earthquake yourself. And you're immune to Earthquake. Can I float? Oh, I can float everybody. This will be good. Yes, this was the thing that would appear in the cave on our way to the Land of Summons that does the Earthquake. It also does physical attacks, which that's not nice. Of course, Cecil's really the only character that can really dish out the damage to it, and it's immune to Earthquake itself. So there we go. That really wasn't worth all that much. I shouldn't have even taken that spider silk. That was a pathetic item to take. Cecil, why is your magic not full? So yeah, the twins, as far as what spells they learn and when they're learning them, it's going to be a little bit better than Rydia and Rosa. And of course they can have the twin attack. Another thing you can do is, you know, you now have the potential, if you wanted, to have, you know, a party with 2 white mages and 3 fighters. You could do that. You could go, you could be really adventurous and go 2 white mages and 2 black mages. Get the twins and Rydia and Rosa in here. You can get creative with your team lineups. So yeah, I really liked the character switching system. It just kind of brought along that, aha. Like I said, hidden paths in the wall everywhere. I don't mind if I lose a little money here and there. Coronet. That's a headpiece for someone. I know it's not for you. Not for you, not for you. Ah, it's for Pelham. It prevents Toad, Minnie, and Pig. That's useful. Speaking of things I haven't done, I haven't technically gone through the whole Sif Cave yet, either. I don't think there's much in there that's super exciting. No, we're not going to fight these guys. Their experience isn't great, and we'll be here forever if we're doing that. As it is, we're going to be here for a while looking for all these treasures. Oh, Belphegor. We'll fight him. And he's dead. Not much experience anyways. Cathood. I believe... If that's not for... Oh. It's for Porum. That was not my first guess. I was thinking that would be for Yang. Summoner, what would you like to summon, sir? Actually, I think this will summon that Arachne thing. You can just defend, because we're going to confuse the summoner. I like how quick Edward is to react. If you want to have a party with fast characters, you know, you could put Yang, Edward, and Edge in your party for high agility. Oh my, no. Actually, that'd be a pretty easy battle, but we're still not doing it. Look how quick Edward's ATB bar is filling up. And it'll get even faster when he goes, when he gets even higher level. But he, on the downside, he does have super low HP. So that's one thing to be mindful of if you're using Edward. Especially if you're going to take him into the final dungeon. And, oh, we got a funny mask. That's not for Sid. We already have for yours. Feathered cap. Okay, funny mask is for Yang, because he's the only one that's not here out of the five. The five that this dungeon's meant for. So yeah, these are basically just monsters from Sealed Cave and Land of Summons. Still checking around. Even though I still tend to miss at least... Uh-oh. Wow, that's not good. Well, you're going to get to see how much damage an earthquake does. Well, that's not much. Okay. We're very high leveled compared to it. Evil Dreamer. Okay, and the Sif Cave as well. Let's see. Trying to find our way to everything is the tricky part. Oh, nice. Okay, we gotta go... No, we're not doing this. Aha. Yeah, I'm even running from these guys. Like I said, their experience isn't that great. Courageous Suit. Is that for... That's not for Sid. Alright, that's got to be for Yang. I don't know if they get accessories in here or not. They might not. Didn't we come in this way? Cave of Trials B5 before. We did not. But we still have stuff to find on this floor. So let's find this stuff. Oh, ambush. We're going to be here for a while. Oh, yes, the other thing we got in the DS version. So they took out all this cool stuff that you're seeing now. They gave us a few crappy minigames that no one really cares about. They're not really enjoyable or anything. They have like Rydia's math and stuff. If it sounds bad, it is bad. I mean, they added some new abilities for Edge here and there. They added some new songs for Edward and stuff, but it's overall the abilities and things they add, I appreciate them, but I wanted more than that. The other thing they added was 2 super bosses. 2 super bosses which you don't get to see your first time playing through the game. That's right. In order to even challenge these super bosses, or see these super bosses, I won't say challenge because you probably won't put up much of a fight when you first see them. You have to play through the entire game twice. Yep. There's a new Game Plus option, and you can carry over... How do I get over there? You can carry over augments. I figure out how to get to that treasure. I must have the treasure. I know there's a few of them in here that are weird. You have to carry over the augments. Aha. It's just missing it. Red cap. Edward likes things that are red. It resists fire. That's good. I have to get him a better armlet too. So yeah, these super bosses, again, if you don't have the right augments in the right spot, and you don't, level grind and stat grind and all of this, you're not really going to stand a chance against these guys whatsoever. And it's just... And the gap between the final dungeon and being able to battle these super bosses and actually stand a chance at beating them, it's just such a huge gap. And it's just... I don't like the concept of these super bosses in general. when it comes to some of these games. Because it's like, okay, you end the final dungeon, and then, okay, there's these super bosses you can battle. Cool, right? Yeah, you'd think so. But the level gap between, or the grinding gap between the final dungeon and the super bosses that they're introducing is such a huge gap. Oh my gosh, we do not want to fight them. It's such a huge gap that, you know, there's only so much grinding I can stand. And grinding on like final dungeon level stuff to get, you know, up to level 99 or something is not what I consider a fun time. Especially given the, oh no, this is bad. This is really bad. Especially given the conditions of the final dungeon enemies in the DS version. Which I've already touched on those a bit. So yeah, needless to say, not too excited to go back and replay the entire game again, just for an opportunity to challenge these super bosses that would just squash me in 2 minutes anyways. If that's your thing, if that's something you like to do, if you like to grind for super bosses, by all means go for it. We got the Lord's Robe. That's for Porum. It's resistant against fire, ice, and lightning. So this equipment that we're getting for Palom and Porum and all these other guys, they have other special properties to it as well. It's not just, it's not always just defense and magic defense buffs. So that's also nice. Sometimes the floors give hints as to where the secret walls are, and I appreciate that. Sage's Robe. And that is obviously for Palom. It prevents silence. That's cool. I don't like my Black Mage being silenced. Especially since, you know, the Black Mage we have now doesn't have the ability to summon stuff. Oh, this is bad. And Edward's dead. Blaze is just super strong. You gotta be careful with those guys, or you could end up in a game over real quick. And now for the somewhat long process of curing everybody. Sid also has pretty high HP. I like that about Sid too. I mean, he tends to take a lot of damage from stuff as well, so that's not as good. Alright, I think we got everything on this floor. I'm assuming we did anyways. And this is also a very big dungeon. Imagine if I had been battling all of these things. We're not doing that. I think there's anything in those walls. Oh, not another back attack. Back attacks are the worst. Especially when you're hitting my mages. Now you can hit my fighters that are in the back row. Well, that's rude. That's also rude. Yeah. You can run around as a toad on the main screen. I don't recommend that, by the way. Hey, look, something here. We're not going to get it yet. We gotta run from this battle first. the Grand Helmet. Oh, that sounds like it's for Sid. And it is. It's resistant to lightning. Adds some much-needed magic defense to him. Grand Armor. And that's also resistant to lightning. Oh, come on, don't kill Edward. And yes, Edward will still do the auto run and hide thing if he's low on HP. So that could be another disadvantage of having him with you. You must be thinking, though, there's got to be some advantage to Edge besides just being fast. Oh, these guys are new. These guys, you could find them in the Land of Summons cave. They're the fairly rare monster there. We're still not going to fight them here. Probably could have fought them, even though it was an ambush. Ah, treasure down there. Okay, what are you? Dry ether. That's not equipment. I'm interested in equipment. Actually, I think I might have all the equipment. Because, yeah, I don't think we get the accessories. I think we just get the helmet, armor, which I think we got helmet and armor for everyone. I know we got helmet and armor for Yang. We got Sid. We got Purim. Yep, we got the Coronet, Sage's Robe. Yeah, we got everything. Yay! And this is B7 of the Cave of Trials. Malboros, we don't want them. What's up these sides? No, we don't want Malboros. Those are like the most evil things ever. Mega Elixirs. Ooh, that's really nice. So a Mega Elixir, it's basically the same as using an Elixir on your whole entire party, though. So an Elixir, what it does is it will fully restore a person's HP and MP. Mega Elixir does that for the entire party. They're kind of given out as candy throughout the oh gosh, they're being given to us as candy right here. Kind of given out as candy in the bonus post-game dungeon. Cave of Trials B8. This is where we need to be. Yeah, crap. One of these is a save point, and the other is an exit. Fortunately, it will ask you if you want to warp before you actually do warp. Okay, this one's the save. So we're going to want to use a cottage here, restore our MP and HP. And you see that we have 5 little islands around us, and you might have seen some weapons floating there. So we're going to save, and in order to fight for these weapons, you have to have the character in your party. Now, since we can't swap Cecil out, that means we will have to make a second trip through this dungeon to get Yang's weapon. Although I ended up losing to some of these bosses my first couple tries as well. They're fairly challenging. I'd put them on par with the bosses we have to fight for some of the equipment in the final dungeon, which is cool. So yeah, whenever you see equipment floating in the air like this, be aware that there's going to be a boss fight, because that's going to be a trend we're going to see. We're going to challenge these bosses next time.